Whenever we talk about EHS digital transformation, we mean two things. Number one is digitizing the QHS management system documentation, and the other digitizing performance evaluation and reports. Now, these are two different things, but both of them are very important in meeting the requirements of the ISO standard, which hinges on four main pillars, which are plan, do, check, and act. And so whenever we talk about plan, do, we are relating to the management system documentation that addresses all your QHSE processes, including those that must be retained as documented information. And so we can talk about your policy, procedures, plans, forms, and checklists, and identifying process owners who are responsible for operationalizing this document to generate adequate records of implementation that are verifiable. And again, with regards to performance evaluation, we are looking at collecting data from all these activities, analyzing the data, and drawing insight for decision making. And some of these decisions will be improving the management system. All right, so this is a very comprehensive approach to EHS digital transformation. Now, over the past few month, you've been seeing how we digitize performance evaluation using Power BI, and the fact that this is digital, and so Power BI report can be shared on various digital platforms, which I'll be showing you in subsequent video. But today's video, we're going to look at how we digitize management system documentation themselves. And so we have a new service line, which is Digital ISO QHS Management System. And so when you visit our website on the homepage, right here, you're going to see ISO QHS Management System. Now, this new service line is targeted to companies, safety consultants, and safety professionals. So I'm going to be explaining why. As far as companies are concerned, we can help you to fully implement a digital audit-ready ISO compliant QHS management system that is powered by Microsoft Power Platform. So yes, we are using Microsoft Power Platform for this, and that is a tool that is already available to everyone. And so safety professionals are included in this solution where we can train you on how to do that. Now, for safety consultants, once you are done developing a management system for companies, we come in to digitize the system for you, create all the relevant reports that are important for a fully digital system. Now, I'm going to be explaining into details what a digital system looks like. As far as the digital management system documentation is concerned, we are looking at the ISO standard. So your management system must be compliant with the ISO standard. Okay, so literally what we do here is to review your documents once again to check if we can identify all the ISO clause references so that at any point in time, we can tell that this document relates to clause number this. For example, QHSE policy is related to clause number 5, okay, which is leadership, and very, very important. Again, we make sure we look at the documents library, the library that you're using. If it's offline, which means that you are simply keeping a list of documents, which is not enough. It is really important that we digitize our whole library by making sure that it is online and it meets the requirements of the ISO standard. And again, within the system of a document library has to be a system of document control where all documents will have their unique version, document numbers with their, with a system of access control where once document is downloaded from a system, then it is uncontrolled. And so everybody is required to have easy access to the system based on their permission levels to be able to download the latest versions of documents. And again, within that same system, there has to be a system of automation where you can automate certain changes within the document, such as revision date that is due. It has to send an email to the document owner. New document that has been added, it has to send email to all the document users. If the document has been updated, it has to send an email to everybody. The document has been updated. That automation will be there. And then once that document is there, everybody can initiate a revision request based on some changes that has to be done. And so there has to be a system of looking at the history of revision for each document. And again, following the effective revision and approval, a new version number will have to be generated. And that will be the latest version that everybody will download. And to make it much more exciting, there is a Power BI report that helps you to visualize everything that is happening within this stage. And this makes your management system fully digital and ISO compliant. And so you become audit ready. So this is a solution to companies and to safety consultants and safety professionals. Now to companies, we build a system. To consultants, we partner with you to digitize the system, and to safety professionals, we provide training. Now let's try and understand what this system is all about. So this is QHSE management system documents library. So this is literally the homepage of our SharePoint library. And as you can see, when you scroll all the way here, you're going to see that we are trying to extract insight from the document library. So when you click on this, this is literally the Power BI report that we've built on the document library, and that gives us a lot of insight. So if I ask you as an EHS manager who is a custodian of your management system, if I ask you how many documents do you have as far as health and safety or your management system is concerned, are you able to tell me? So the fact is that if you're not able to tell me, what it means is that you don't have a well-structured document library that gives you that kind of insight. So over here, we can tell that we have 150 documents, and then we have 138 of them approved. 3 requires an update and 3 are under review. So over here, we can tell the number of documents for various document types. We can tell the document by department over here. We can tell the document by ISO standard, and we can tell the document that are under review. So in terms of the review status of document, we can tell how many are valid, how many are overdue, and document approval status, which is approved, under review, or update required. So that's literally what we have here. And we can tell the overall document approval rate, which is 92%. And over here, we have the review status once again, but this time we are breaking it down into departments. So you can tell at a glance the department and their types of documents, okay, that they are controlling or they are managing. And basically the HSE department, the HR department, we have the maintenance department, operations department, and all their documents. And we can tell the clause references. So some of them are related to clause number 7, some of them are related to other clauses and all of that. And so based on this clause number, it gives us a lot more insight. So you can put context to each document. For example, when you come to the HSE department and you look at QHSE policy, you can tell that QHSE policy relates to clause number 5, which is leadership. And so I'm the document owner. There is a document approval. Okay, the approval status of the document, you can tell the last review date and the revision status, whether valid or overdue. So when you look at overdue, you can see that the last revision was 16th March 2026, which is actually passed, right? And so we can also tell the standard, which standard does it relate to. So this is like really extracting insight from our document library even before we get into it. Now let's have a look at each of the document library, which we've already organized under policy, plan, procedures, forms, checklist, and document schedule. All right. So over here, we can tell the document and document number and the type of document it is, or the document name, the date it was modified, person who modified it, and that is me, the document code or the document number. We have the document type, the document owner, the approver, the effective date was released, the review date that has been set, the department in question, the confidentiality level. So you can actually set confidentiality level where you can give access to specific levels of the document, especially those are very sensitive. And then again, we can tell the approval status, the clause reference, the ISO standard, and the approval status. Now over here, based on the user, I am actually the admin, and for that reason I have right to start to edit and everything. But if it were to be, a user with a different role in terms of permission, right, just a user role, then they can simply click on here, which is approval status. They can initiate a revision request, and they can simply provide the details of what they want to revise and submit it, and that will be notified to the document owner. So this is literally whatever is happening within our document library for policy. So it's literally the same structure for plan, the same structure for procedure, forms and registers, and all of that. Okay, so that is really how interesting it is. Now the advantage of SharePoint is the fact that you can initiate a lot of automations. And so when we come into, for example, let's say policy, and we come to automate, we can actually look at some of the automations that have been applied. So we can create a lot of automations. So over here, we have 2 automations. Number 1 has to do with the fact that every time the review date is before today, that means that it has expired. And for that reason, the approval status should change to update required. All right, so that's the first automation. And then the second automation has to be the fact that we want to initiate a chat with the document owner, okay, whenever the approval status changes to update required. So the other one is to ensure that whenever review date is before today, which means that it has expired, it should change to update required. And this one, we are saying that once the approval status changes to update required, it should initiate a chat to the document owner. So this is the level of automation we can integrate right in here. And so we can apply a lot of conditional formatting and everything. So this is really beautiful. How exciting. And so with all of this properly structured to meet the ISO standard, we can now have our very nice Power BI reports that helps us to draw a lot more insight. So what it means is that this Power BI dashboard that you see here is actually connected to this document library. Okay, so we are trying to move away from Excel, where we used to have a document register sitting in Excel. But right now, with this very one, we're able to connect to the SharePoint and get real-time updates on whatever is happening within our documents library. So that is really it, guys. So the excitement of this is the fact that Microsoft Teams is a very good container because this is an important application for collaboration with your team. And so we can embed the documentation or the document library right here into your Microsoft Teams. What it means is that as long as people have been added to the team, they can have access to the document and they can only download, or they can actually, engage with it. Okay, that's literally it. So the same thing that you see on SharePoint, that is exactly what we have here. So you can see that the dashboard is right here. We can still engage with it. And the beauty is that Microsoft Teams is a mobile application. So what it means that every worker who is assigned to this channel can actually view the report right within their mobile at the comfort of their office or the comfort of their homes, or even on their computer. They can access this. Your top management, your general manager or your managing director can actually engage and understand what's going on at a glance. They can tell that something is not going right. We need to review our document. Something must be updated. Everything is here with all these automations. And so the same structure as we see in SharePoint, we also have it here, where you can tell the document named, date modified by who, document control number, document code, the type of document, whether policy or procedure, whatever. We have everything here. And again, they can initiate a revision request. So once they come here, they can simply initiate a revision request and submit, and there's going to be a trail of this revision. So that's literally it, right? So we are actually working towards digitizing health and safety management system, and this is such a fantastic platform. So if you're a health and safety professional, then we can actually train you on how to build something similar. You need to make sure you have access to SharePoint within your company, and so you're gonna be learning it through your company account, because SharePoint is only available in a corporate account, and this is often given, this opportunity is given by company where you're working. And so once you have access to this, we can actually teach you how to do something similar, or we can even give you a domain. So we have a demo account that we are trying to get, where you can actually use it for practice. So you can log in and you can have a look. So basically, when you come onto our website, right, over here we are giving out a domain access, a demo asset. So you can actually use this demo account, right? You can use it and log in, but it is a control login. So you don't log in on your own. We have a meeting, you have access to this credential, you log in, because it could be a request for authentication where we need to give approval and everything. So this is a controlled access, and you can only do that after you have engaged with us, okay? So that you can actually understand all of this interesting stuff as far as SharePoint library is concerned, and how you can build a very nice document library that looks like this, and also have a Power BI report, okay, that actually helps you to draw insight from your documents library. Now take note, the Power BI report is also a type of training, that a service that we provide. We can develop that for you. If you are a consultant, we can partner with you, where we engage with your clients, or we are part of your team, and so we do all the documentation, library for you, with all the Power BI, reports and everything, and how we can integrate it in Microsoft Teams for your clients. And then if you're a safety professional also, you can come for training on how we can help you to digitize your QHS management system and make it easy to access within Microsoft Teams. I believe that you found this video very insightful. This is a game changer, guys. Trust me. And I believe that you're going to take advantage and collaborate and partner with us, so you can actually make health and safety department much more exciting and more streamlined. See you in another video. Bye for now.